Imagine a world where a simple fruit, once feared and dismissed, rises to rival the value of gold. That fruit is the tomato. Today, it is a staple of countless cuisines, but its journey was anything but ordinary. From ancient rituals to royal gardens, from deadly superstition to culinary fame, this is the story of the tomato, a fruit that conquered the world. This is red gold. The tomato's story begins in the highlands of Mesoamerica, over 2,500 years ago. The Aztecs, among the first to cultivate tomatoes, called them zitomatl, meaning plump thing with a navel. Far from a side dish, tomatoes were a key part of their diet, economy, and mythology. Aztec markets bustled with activity: spices, cocoa, maize, and tomatoes. The Spanish conquistadors took much from these lands, including the tomato.
When the tomato arrived in Europe in the 1500s, it was met with suspicion. It belonged to the nightshade family, plants associated with poison and death. Wealthy Europeans dined off pewter plates. The tomato's acidity drew out lead, causing illness and reinforcing the myth that it was toxic. It took nearly 200 years before Europeans began to cook with tomatoes. In the meantime, it remained an ornamental plant in aristocratic gardens. It was in Italy that the tomato's reputation began to shift. In the 18th century, cooks discovered its rich, acidic depth. Tomato sauces became central to Neapolitan and Sicilian cooking. The rise of pizza and pasta elevated the tomato to fame. From fear to fascination, the fruit had finally found its place. Today, tomatoes are a multi-billion-dollar global industry. They're grown in over 150 countries. Tomato seeds, especially hybrid and heirloom varieties, can fetch thousands of dollars per kilo. In niche markets, such as Japan's ruby Roman tomatoes or luxury heirlooms, they can cost more per gram than gold.
In the Middle East and Europe, there are tomato seed companies with tomato seeds so rare, so exclusive, and so genetically refined that a kilo of it can cost more than a kilo of gold. We are talking highly secretive boutique seed operations. They are behind the most expensive tomato seeds in the world. Their tomatoes aren't ordinary. These are genetic masterpieces, engineered and selectively bred over years for incredible flavor profiles, resilience, nutritional density, and visual perfection. Some of their strains produce tomatoes with complex aromas that rival fine wine, while others boast textures and nutrient content leagues above commercial hybrids. Let's break it down. Gold sells at around $70,000 per kilo. But these genetic tomato seeds, in limited drops, have sold for prices that push $100,000 to $150,000 per kilo. Sometimes even more on the collector market. So a kilo of seeds can be more worth than a kilo of gold. These seeds are not just agricultural products. They're intellectual property, they're agricultural products, they're agricultural luxury items, and in some circles, they're status symbols. Each drop is limited, traceable, and often only offered through invitation-only channels. Chefs, elite farmers, seed collectors, and even biotech firms compete to get their hands on those seeds. Not just for flavor, but for the genetic potential. And it doesn't end there. Buyers often sign non-distribution agreements. No sharing, no reselling, no growing at scale without licensing. It's a closed loop and one that scarcity only drives prices. These seeds aren't about feeding the world. They're about redefining what's possible in plant genetics and turning something as humble as a tomato into a luxury product worth more than gold. Few foods have such global reach. In India, tomatoes are in curries and chutneys. In Mexico, the star in salsas and stews. In the United States, they're the art of ketchup and barbecue sauce. The tomato is a common language for flavor transcending borders and cultures. As climate change threatens crops, the tomato is at the forefront of adaptation. Vertical farms, hydroponic agriculture are shaping the tomato's next chapter. It's not just about food, it's about survival. From Mesoamerican mystery to European suspicion, From kitchens to space stations, the tomato has proven its worth again and again. It's more than a fruit. It's red gold. And in the right context, it's worth more than gold itself.